Hi, I'm Jackie. I'm a mom and a preschool teacher, and I make videos that help parents navigate difficult situations with their kids. This is part 2 in my Color Spectrum of Emotions videos, and if you haven't watched part 1 yet, I suggest you do that now before continuing, or else you might be kind of confused. Your behaviors change based on where your brain is. And I wanted to show you how to do this so that you can do it on your own and have a better understanding of how your own emotions work and how to apply that to your children. It really helps me to have a visual representation for how something works, and I imagine that there are a lot of you who are watching that are the same way. So this visual representation will explain the different emotions that you're feeling based on your brain state and what actions you're doing based on the emotions that you're feeling. Here is how you do it. You're going to take a piece of paper and draw a line right down the middle. On one side is for the emotion that you feel, and on the other side, you're going to write down the action that you take. But before you do that, we're going to write on one side, in descending order, 10 to 0. And then we're going to take a red, a yellow, and a green colored pencil and just shade in very lightly the sections of this. Now, on the green part, we're going to write down some of the emotions that you feel when you're in this relaxed state. So it could be happy, calm, peaceful, relaxed, excited, bubbly, whatever emotions that you're feeling while you feel you're in your green state of mind. And then we're going to match those feelings to actions that we take while we're in this state of mind. So for me personally, I sing, I dance, I laugh, I goof around with my daughter, and I'm just kind of silly. This is also where I do a lot of research, where I'm creative, and when I'm coming up with ideas and exploring my creative side. Once you've done green, and you can take your time filling it out, and the things that I say for me are going to be different than the ones for you. So take your time and fill it out in the way that makes sense for you. And then once you're done with green, move on to yellow. And the emotions that you would write here would be ones you feel when you're stressed out or on the verge of getting really upset. So frustration, irritation, annoyance, being bothered, feeling a little anxious or feeling sad. And then write down the actions that you feel when you are feeling these emotions. So for mine are binging on Reddit and Facebook, like scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and never stop scrolling. Being indecisive, feeling like I don't want to be touched, getting annoyed by little things that my partner does, like leaving a cup on the counter, which normally is not a big deal. Or just feeling really annoyed when my daughter wants to be held. And then after you've taken your time and written all that out, we're going to go to red. Now, red is when you just aren't yourself anymore. Emotions like anger, fear, panic, severe depression, crying, resentment, those types of emotions come out when you're in red. So write down the emotions that you're feeling when you get to red, and then let's match them to the action. So for me, it's shutting down and isolating myself, running away from conflict, getting snappy with my partner, or getting angry when my daughter doesn't listen. And I'm normally very patient. And patient would probably be something that I would put in green. I would be feeling patient when I'm in green. I would feel impatient or intolerable when I'm in red. So when you apply this to your toddler, you can see that if your toddler is screaming, they're in red. When your toddler is melting down on the floor, they're in red. They are feeling whatever feelings those are, because the feelings that they feel when they're in red are going to be different than the ones you feel. So you don't need to identify the actual feeling that they're having, but you can just see that they are in survival. And what does it feel like to you when you're in red, when you're in survival? And how would you want somebody to handle you? And then apply that to how do you handle your child? And I have a whole video that goes into 4 easy steps to help your child get from red or yellow back down to green in any situation. So you can check out that link, and I'm going to post it in the description box below. I apologize, but as I was editing this video, I realized that I missed something really important, and that is how do you use the color chart to help navigate situations with yourself. So the way you use it is, say you notice throughout the day that you're feeling really irritable and on edge. That is a signal that you're in yellow. And the things that you're doing, the behaviors that you're doing, might be, in my case, and I'm gonna use myself as an example, and then you can apply your own personal situation and understand how this works, and how to navigate situations with yourself. So say I've been feeling really irritated or aggravated all day, and I notice that I don't want anybody to touch me. So I would think, okay, did something happen that's making me feel irritable and agitated? And why don't I want to be touched? Well, I don't want to be touched because I'm feeling irritable, and I'm feeling irritable because maybe I didn't sleep enough last night. Or maybe something happened at work that's bothering me. Or maybe there's something that is happening that I don't really know how to solve or don't know what to do about, and I'm just feeling a little bit on edge or irritated. So now that I have identified that I am feeling yellow, I am feeling irritated, I am in my emotional brain, which way do I want to go? Do I want to escalate this to the point where I get angry and start lashing out? Or do I want to recenter my brain and come back to green so that I can problem solve and move forward with whatever the situation is? So the way this ends up playing out is I'm irritated. I don't want to be touched. I'm irritated because I'm tired. So I'm going to go take a nap and I'll feel better. I'll be back in green and then I'll be fine again. Or say something happened at work that really bothered me. I'll talk about it with my partner and that will help me come back down to green, and then I can move forward with my day. The times when I do escalate into red are rare. It used to be all the time. I used to live in yellow and red. I used to have very few days where I was in green, and now that I'm in green more often, I'm able to be productive. I'm able to make these videos. I'm able to get everything that I want done throughout the day because I'm in green more often. When that was not the case before, I was literally living between yellow and red, and I would have panic attacks. I would cry every day. I would have toxic thoughts every single day, and I would shut down all the time. And it's getting a lot better, and I don't often go into red, and the only times I do is when I haven't identified if I'm in yellow. Yellow is my warning sign that I need to figure out what's wrong so I can come back down, and if I ignore those warning signs along the way, it will escalate to red, and I will end up crying or having a panic attack or lashing out or isolating myself. Okay, back to the video. Now, applying all of this to relationships. If you watched any of my other videos, you might have noticed that I talk a lot about growing up in an abusive household and what that did to me and the problems that that left me with. I've been in therapy for a little while, and it's been really helpful, and it's been helping me get a better understanding of myself so that I can release some of these maladaptive lessons that I learned growing up in a toxic environment. Me and my partner use this color code all the time, and it has honestly saved our relationship. We used to fight all the time, and now we never fight. I don't know what he is feeling during certain times, and he doesn't know what I'm feeling, but we each understand how yellow feels. We each understand how red feels. We can adjust our behaviors accordingly so that we can help de-escalate each other instead of escalating the situation into a fight, which is what we used to do all the time. When we're having regular discussions and we start to feel like we're getting into yellow, like one of us says something that's a trigger for the other person, we can communicate that we're starting to feel yellow, and we can come back down, navigate those feelings, and then we're able to problem solve. The greatest thing about this color code for me was that before I started therapy, I couldn't identify anger. That was a really big emotion for me that I was always unable to identify. I grew up with a really abusive mother who used anger against me. She would use anger as a tool for manipulation and a tool to control, and I became afraid of anger. I ended up suppressing my anger and not being able to identify when I was angry. Sometimes in the past, my partner would have told me, "You seem like you're really angry. Why are you angry?" And I'm like, "I don't feel angry. I feel calm," because I couldn't tell that I was angry. the thing is like anger is a powerful emotion because anger gives you that energy and that brain power to figure out how to solve a problem. But to a narcissist or to an abuser, because anger is power, they want to take it away from you. So I ended up having to suppress my anger because I didn't have another way to deal with it because I was a child. And it left me really unable to handle anger until I got therapy and until I understood how the color spectrum of emotions works. So now that I understand how anger works and how the emotions work related to brain states, when I start to get in yellow, I can choose. Do I want to go back down to green by being proactive, or do I want to let this go and get into red? Do I want to be angry? Which way do I want to go? And I have the choice in how I want to proceed. The big picture is that when you are feeling yellow, it is an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity to learn how to get back down to green and how to resolve conflicts and how to resolve things that you are hung up on. Getting angry is a choice, but only if you recognize that there are warning signs along the way, and at any point you have the choice to get off the highway. I hope this was helpful. I wish you peace, love, health, and joy.